This is not just weaponry. It is Ukraine's entire ecosystem of modern warfare. From infantry firearms, rocket artillery, and air defense missiles to drones and precision guidance technology, everything is operating together on a battlefield where survival is the only objective. Between the legacy of Soviet hardware and the wave of NATO aid, Ukraine has transformed into one of the most diversely equipped forces in the world, a place where every weapon type holds a decisive role in a war of survival. Fort 14 TP is Ukraine's standard domestically produced service pistol built for real combat, not for display cases. Its solid steel construction allows it to endure mud, sub-zero temperatures, and rough handling on the front line. Its greatest advantage is durability and reliability, making it ideal for officers, vehicle crews, and any unit that needs a backup weapon that is always ready. With a 14-round magazine and common ammunition options, the Fort 14 TP becomes the last lifeline when close-quarters fighting erupts without warning. Makarov PM is a symbol of the Soviet era, simple, cheap, and nearly impossible to jam. Its blowback mechanism has few moving parts, allowing it to function in dirty, wet conditions and with minimal maintenance, exactly the kind of environment a battlefield always provides. But the era has changed. The small magazine and limited stopping power make the Makarov poorly suited against modern body armor. As a result, it has gradually been pushed to rear echelon roles, where the mission is not armor penetration, but emergency self-defense. Glock 17 represents the Western standard, light, simple, and optimized for speed of operation. Its polymer frame reduces weight, while the safe action system enables fast draws and quick shots without sacrificing safe carry. More importantly, the Glock opens an entire upgrade ecosystem. Weapon lights, red dots, recoil control components, and specialized holsters, perfect for special forces clearing rooms and fighting in urban close-quarters combat, where a single blind corner can decide life or death. Scorpion Evo 3 is a compact firepower sprayer built for tight spaces. It fires 9mm, but thanks to modern design and a closed bolt system, it offers better control and close-range accuracy than older submachine guns. The Scorpion is especially useful for armored vehicle crews and VIP protection teams under ambush. They don't need long range, they need speed, dense firepower, and a reaction window measured in seconds. This is a weapon designed to survive in narrow corridors, cramped vehicles, and situations where contact means instant violence. AK-74 is the foundation of Ukraine's infantry. It is a rifle every soldier can run even in darkness. The 5.45mm round has a tendency to yaw after impact, causing severe internal damage despite its small profile. More importantly, the AK-74 is almost unaffected by mud, snow, or rain, making it ideal for flooded trenches and the frozen forests of Eastern Europe. AKM is the heavier hitting variant of the Kalashnikov family. The 7.62mm round carries greater kinetic energy and can punch through brick walls, tree trunks, and light fortifications, barriers that smaller calibers struggle with. In shattered cities and villages, the AKM allows Ukrainian infantry to strike enemies even when they are hiding behind cover. Maluk Vulcan is Ukraine's modernization of the Soviet legacy. By converting the AK platform into a bullpup configuration, it keeps a full-length barrel while shortening the overall weapon, ideal for fighting inside armored vehicles and cramped fortifications. Its polymer chassis also dissipates heat better, letting soldiers fire for longer without burning their hands during extended engagements. MSBS Grot represents a leap toward NATO standards. Ambidextrous controls and a modular design allow it to adapt to different missions. Delivered in large numbers, the Grot has proven reliable in cold, muddy, and dusty conditions, becoming one of the rifles Ukrainian soldiers trust most. M4A1 is not just a rifle, it is a key that unlocks the entire Western combat ecosystem. With the M4A1, Ukrainian troops can use thermal optics, infrared lasers, and night vision equipment, enabling precise strikes in darkness. This turns elite units into true nocturnal hunters, where the enemy has nowhere left to hide. FN F2000 is a rifle built for the future of modern warfare. Its forward ejection system makes it safe in tight spaces and fully ambidextrous. Its sealed polymer housing blocks mud and sand from entering the mechanism, allowing the F-2000 to run reliably even when the battlefield becomes a swamp. UAR-10 is a Ukraine-made AR-10 platform optimized for the designated marksman role. Its strength is high accuracy at medium and long range thanks to quality barrel and stable structure, giving soldiers control of engagements at distances where assault rifles struggle to answer back. With a UAR-10, an infantry squad can lock down high ground, hold corridors of advance, and eliminate key targets before the enemy can close in. Barrett M82 is an icon of heavy anti-material firepower. Its 50 BMG round is not only for personnel, it can destroy light vehicles, punch through brick walls and thin cover, and neutralize sniper positions hidden behind barriers. In Ukraine, the Barrett is also used for dangerous but essential tasks, detonating unexploded ordnance from a safe distance, turning a rifle into both a strike tool and a threat neutralization device. Snipex Alligator is a heavy Ukrainian anti-material weapon built to defeat targets ordinary sniper rifles cannot touch. The 14.5mm cartridge carries enormous energy, enough to wreck armored vehicle engines, damage radar and communications equipment, and destroy critical systems from extreme distances. Its size and weight limit mobility, but once positioned correctly, it turns the battlefield into a no-go zone for enemy technical assets. RPK-74 is squad-level automatic firepower designed to suppress while infantry maneuvers. Built on the AK platform, it is easy to train on, easy to maintain, and shares logistics with standard rifles, helping units avoid supply chain failure. In real combat, the RPK-74 creates a dense enough curtain of fire to pin the enemy down, opening paths for teammates to advance or withdraw safely. PKM is a general-purpose machine gun famous for durability and simplicity, firing 7.62 by 54R from belts for sustained fire. Its greatest value is that it keeps running when wet, filthy, and poorly maintained, exactly what trench warfare demands, where mud swallows everything. With the PKM, a platoon can hold defenses longer, break assault waves, and suppress enemy firing points at ranges beyond what rifles can reliably dominate. M240 is the NATO standard general-purpose machine gun, known for sustained fire and heat management thanks to a quick-change barrel. When continuous pressure is needed, the crew can swap barrels and keep firing without stopping. In defensive battles or when supporting an advancing formation, the M240 acts like an anchor that stabilizes the rhythm of combat through consistency and endurance. MG3 carries the DNA of the MG42, famous for an extremely high rate of fire that feels like a saw tearing through the air. The MG3's advantage is not only the number of rounds on target, but the psychological effect. The sound and density of fire make it difficult for the enemy to raise their head or move. In short, violent suppression bursts, the MG3 unleashes a storm of bullets that controls routes and forces enemies to stay buried. M2 Browning is a 50 caliber heavy machine gun that has proven its value across generations of warfare. Its power is enough to smash light fortifications, punch through hard cover, and inflict severe damage on unarmored or lightly armored vehicles. On the battlefield, the M2 often appears at checkpoints, mounted on pickup trucks or in key defensive positions, acting like a steel hammer that stops enemy momentum. Maxim 1910 is a classic machine gun that fits strangely well into modern trench warfare. Its water cooling system allows it to fire far longer than air-cooled guns, especially in static defense where targets appear in waves. Heavy and difficult to move, the Maxim becomes an ideal trench-holding weapon, breaking mass assaults and maintaining continuous suppression when newer machine guns are forced to stop due to overheating. AGS-17 is a 30mm automatic grenade launcher used as a trench crushing tool. Instead of firing flat like a rifle, it fires arcing shots that drop explosive rounds behind cover, exactly where the enemy believes they are safe. In defense, it slows assault waves. In offense, it clears the way by tearing apart hardened positions in trenches and shallow fortifications. Mk-19 is a Western standard 40mm automatic grenade launcher, heavier hitting than 30mm systems. With high explosive and armor-penetrating types of ammunition, the Mk-19 can damage light armored vehicles and targets sheltered behind hard cover. On the battlefield, it is often mounted on pickup trucks or fixed emplacements, creating deadly zones along roadways where the enemy cannot move without paying a price. M32A1 is a 6-shot revolver grenade launcher built for close combat and clearing targets in tight spaces. Its strength is rapid explosive delivery. A single soldier can fire multiple grenades in seconds to suppress a trench corridor or a room. In urban warfare, the M32A1 creates immediate dominance, forcing enemies to abandon positions or be destroyed before they can react.
Mossberg 500 is a shotgun that seems outdated, yet it has become extremely practical in drone warfare. When FPV drones fly low toward a target, hitting a small, fast object with a rifle is difficult. A shotgun firing pellets creates a wide damage pattern, increasing the chance of knocking a drone down in the final seconds. The Mossberg 500 becomes a cheap, fast, defensive layer, protecting trenches, vehicles, and staging points from close-range suicide strikes. FPV drones are revolutionary because they turn cheap civilian systems into precise, short-range strike weapons. A drone is fitted with an explosive and flown through FPV goggles, allowing the operator to see the target directly and dive into the weakest point of an armored vehicle. Their low cost allows them to appear in swarms, grinding down the enemy one vehicle at a time. This weapon type changes the balance because it attacks the economics of war, destroying expensive targets with extremely cheap tools. Baba Yaga is a heavy-lift hexacopter modified from agricultural drones, specialized for night bombing. Its strength is greater payload capacity than FPVs, night operation with thermal cameras, and dropping munitions onto trenches, bunkers, and vehicles from above. In trench warfare, Baba Yaga becomes a miniature bomber, slow but stubborn, creating constant psychological pressure that prevents the enemy from sleeping. Switchblade 600 is a military-grade loitering munition designed to hunt tanks and high-value targets. Unlike improvised FPVs, it has an optimized anti-armor warhead, the ability to patrol an area before diving onto a target, and greater stability under combat conditions. Used correctly, it allows Ukrainian forces to detect and destroy targets from a safe distance, turning supply routes and staging areas into places where the sky itself can strike at any moment. RPG-7 remains valuable as a classic anti-tank weapon because of flexibility and sheer numbers. It is a reusable launcher that can fire many warhead types, from bunker-busting rounds to anti-armor charges. In Ukraine, the RPG-7 is used not only against armored vehicles, but also to smash firing positions and shelters, making it a multi-purpose infantry tool at close range. AT-4 is a disposable anti-armor launcher built to simplify everything for frontline soldiers. No assembly, no complicated steps. Raise, aim, and fire. The AT-4 is especially useful in urban terrain, where targets are often light armored vehicles and fortified positions, allowing an average infantryman to deliver a decisive strike in seconds. Panzerfaust III is a modern German anti-tank system, known for optimized penetration and safer use in confined environments. Its warhead design and firing mechanism allow effective hits on armored targets, and it can be fired from tighter positions than many traditional anti-tank weapons. On the battlefield, the Panzerfaust III is a close-range solution for armored vehicles that appear suddenly, leaving the enemy no time to react. Carl Gustaf is a reloadable 84mm recoilless rifle, famous for versatility. Its power is not only in a single shot, but in a broad ammunition family for smoke, illumination, anti-structure, anti-armor, and airburst effects. For special forces, the Carl Gustaf is like a portable destruction toolbox, swapping rounds to adapt instantly to terrain and target. NLAW is a short-range guided anti-tank weapon built for ambush. The shooter tracks the target for a few seconds, the system calculates the intercept, and the missile attacks the tank's weakest point, the top armor. This makes the NLAW extremely dangerous in forests and cities, where tanks move slowly and can be hit at close range before they detect the ambush team. Javelin is the symbol of modern anti-tank warfare because it combines detection and top attack in a shoulder-fired system. Thermal sights can spot tanks even in low light, then the missile climbs and dives down to bypass thick frontal armor. The Javelin has an outsized impact because it forces tanks to fight under the constant fear of being struck from the vulnerable roof angle. Stugna P is a Ukrainian domestic missile system that became famous for how it protects the operator. A remote control station connected by cable allows the crew to remain inside a bunker or behind cover while the launcher sits exposed with line of sight. This reduces the risk of immediate return fire, making Stugna P ideal for prepared ambush zones and fixed defenses. Igla is a Soviet-era man-portable air defense missile that remains dangerous to helicopters and low-flying aircraft. Though modern flares can sometimes decoy it, the Igla still creates a risk zone that forces enemy aviation to fly higher or avoid approaching the front line. In Ukraine, systems like Igla serve as frontline air defense, where any low pass can become lethal. Stinger is an American man-portable air defense missile, famous from earlier wars and still proving its worth in Ukraine. Its infrared guidance with a sensitive seeker enables faster, more effective target acquisition in many conditions. The Stinger doesn't just shoot down aircraft, it forces enemy helicopters and planes to keep distance, reducing their ability to provide close fire support to Russian ground forces. Piorun is a modern Polish upgrade built on a similar platform, but with better sensors and stronger resistance to decoys. It's especially useful at night and in bad weather, when targets are harder to spot and easier to lose. The Piorun has become one of the most trusted frontline air defense tools, tightening the space in which enemy aviation can operate. Starstreak is different because it doesn't rely on a traditional explosive warhead. Instead, the missile accelerates extremely fast and releases kinetic penetrator darts that rip into an aircraft using sheer energy. Its very high speed makes it difficult to evade, especially for helicopters and low-flying aircraft. Starstreak turns the near frontline sky into a true no-go zone, attacking through speed and kinetic force, not just blast effects.